Welcome to the webinar Tag in Action, Promoting Physical Activity and More. Today's webinar is part of the Successful Strategies for Improving Adolescent Health webinar series sponsored by the HHS Office of Adolescent Health. This webinar is one of a series highlighting local, state, and national efforts to improve adolescent health and is part of a national call to action called Adolescent Health, Think, Act, Grow, or TAG. I'm Evelyn Kapler, the Director of the HHS Office of Adolescent Health, or OAH. I'm very pleased to be with you to talk about TAG and to introduce our guest speakers. This webinar highlights two nationwide programs that are successfully promoting the health and wellness of youth through physical activity and so much more. We're joined today by Theresa Miller, Chief Executive Officer at Girls on the Run, and Sarah Pickens, Associate Vice President of Programs at the U.S. Soccer Foundation. Before I turn it over to Theresa and Sarah, I'd like to provide you with an overview of OAH and TAG. The Office of Adolescent Health is located in the United States Department of Health and Human Services. OAH was first funded in 2010 and charged by Congress with developing a national plan for improving adolescent health. OAH has used its limited resources and the input of experts to synthesize what we know about what works and spur action in support of adolescent health. The TAG call to action is the first response to that charge. TAG builds on the collective work and insights of many professionals, researchers, and family members who know what it takes to promote the health and healthy development of America's 42 million adolescents. Teens are generally healthy, yet there are many missed opportunities to promote adolescent health and to intervene promptly as challenging health issues emerge in adolescence and young adulthood. TAG is a comprehensive, strengths-based, positive youth development approach to adolescent health rather than a risk-based approach. TAG is designed to help young people reach their full potential as healthy, productive adults. With TAG, we hope to spur action across multiple groups of professionals and organizations and in communities that all share a common interest in promoting adolescent health. Stakeholder engagement is a core tenet that drives all aspects of TAG and reflects our understanding that many determinants of adolescent health lie outside the healthcare system. The goal for TAG are the following: to raise awareness about the importance of adolescent health, to engage stakeholders, including youth-serving organizations and caring adults, to get adolescent health on the national agenda, and to spur action. Long-term, TAG contributes to achieving the Healthy People 2020 objectives for adolescent health developed by HHS. You can learn more about TAG and the 5 Essentials for Healthy Adolescents on the Office of Adolescent Health website. Also, before we begin, I'd like to point out that the content and views of this next portion of the webcast do not necessarily represent the official policies of the Office of Adolescent Health or of HHS. So now I'm pleased to turn things over to Theresa Miller, the Chief Engagement Officer for Girls on the Run.
Thank you, Evelyn. I'm so honored to be included in this webinar, and I look forward to sharing about Girls on the Run and the way we approach our work with girls in the physical activity space. Girls on the Run is a physical activity-based, positive youth development program. What that means is that we use running games and other physical activities to teach life skills. The physical, social, and emotional competencies that girls develop and improve during the program help them succeed in many different domains. We do this work from coast to coast through our network of over 200 councils. Starting with a small team of 13 girls in 1996 in Charlotte, North Carolina, we now serve over 200,000 girls annually with the help of over 100,000 volunteers. Our local councils partner with schools, recreation centers, YMCAs, and other community-based organizations to deliver the program after school at more than 10,000 sites each year. Now that I've talked a little bit about where the program is offered and the number of girls involved, I want to provide more information about what we do and how we do it. This diagram shows the Girls on the Run process and impact. Over the course of the 10-week program, trained coaches lead small teams of girls through our research-based curricula, which includes dynamic discussions and fun activities. This is done in a safe and inclusive environment. The lessons are designed to help girls improve in confidence, competence, caring, connection, character and contribution, and physical activity. We offer 3 different programs: Girls on the Run, which is for 3rd through 5th grade girls; Heart and Soul, our middle school program for 6th through 8th graders; and our new 1-week program, Camp Goater, which is also for girls in 3rd through 5th grade. All 3 of these programs use the process and outcome framework I just shared, but the content and structure are different based on age group and the delivery model. As we know that 2 essential components of adolescent health are to build positive connections with supportive people and provide safe and secure places to live, learn, and play, coach training and support has been an organization-wide priority over the last several years. Prior to the start of our program, volunteer coaches participate in a national coach training. Drawing on research and best practices in the field, this training includes both online and in-person elements. The training prepares coaches to build relationships with and between girls, create a positive, inclusive environment, and support individual improvement. Coaches learn how to put these concepts into action. They watch videos of coaches in the field, and they practice a full Girls on the Run lesson so that they can deliver the curriculum as intended. Woven throughout the training is a focus on coaches understanding their own context and how they can best support girls from all backgrounds. These building blocks are essential for any youth program, and particularly those with a focus on physical activity and developing social-emotional skills. With our 10-week programs, Girls on the Run and Heart and Soul, small teams of approximately 15 girls meet twice a week. Regular meetings and small team sizes give girls and coaches an opportunity to build relationships and develop a strong group dynamic. Each lesson, which is 75 to 90 minutes in length, focuses on themes that girls can relate to, such as making and being friends, recognizing and managing emotions, and working as a team. The girls are introduced to the lesson themes through an activity, and then they participate in running games, activities, and discussions that really reinforce and practice skills. The lessons build on each other over the course of the season and are specifically designed for either the elementary or middle school age group, depending on the program. The program ends with 2 culminating events: a community service project and a celebratory 5K. Over the last several years, we have partnered with the National Center on Health, Physical Activity, and Disability to better serve girls with physical, sensory, and intellectual disabilities through our program. We're working together to develop an adapted curriculum, as well as resources, tools, and training to support councils and coaches. We want to ensure Girls on the Run is for all girls. Providing this opportunity for all girls is important because we know the impact it can make on the lives of young people. In 2016, Dr. Maureen Weiss, faculty at the University of Minnesota, conducted an independent study to evaluate the impact of Girls on the Run. The study specifically looked at whether Girls on the Run participants differ from a comparison group of girls not in Girls on the Run on developmental outcomes and life skills. The study also evaluated whether Girls on the Run participants showed improvements from the beginning to the end of the program, and if they retained those improvements beyond the end of the program. Here are a few highlights from the study. If you're interested in learning more, the summary report is also available on our website. Girls made their greatest gains in confidence and connection. Over the course of the program, they improved in how much they liked the kind of person they are, how happy they felt with the way they looked, and were more likely to say that they have classmates who like them and support them the way they are. Girls who were the least active at the start of the season increased their physical activity level by 40% from pre to post-season. And what was truly remarkable is that they maintained this increased level beyond the season's end. 97% of girls learned critical life skills, including how to manage their emotions, resolve conflict, help others, or make intentional decisions at Girls on the Run. And even more so, they're using those skills at home, at school, and with their friends. Girls on the Run participants were significantly more likely in girls in physical education or organized sports programs to learn and use these life skills. So I've shared the essential aspects of our program that I hope you can leverage in your own initiatives and also provided evidence of program impact. Now I'm going to dive a little deeper into a few specific strategies that have worked for our organization as we have provided physical activity-based programming for girls. First is that we intentionally incorporate social and emotional learning with physical activity. As our study findings suggest, sport and physical activity contexts will reap the greatest benefits when they're designed with specific outcomes in mind. Physical activity is often an inherently interesting and motivating context for young people, and it provides a relevant context for them to learn and practice skills. So consider how you can use activity to illustrate and practice the social and emotional skills that you've identified. Processing or debriefing provides an important opportunity for youth to make connections and apply what they are learning to different contexts. At Girls on the Run, we use short processing questions after activities to draw connections, and then longer processing with pairs or a whole group that focuses on application. We also use different modalities such as journaling, take-home challenges, and an identity card. Finally, it's important to ensure that activities reinforce and provide opportunities to learn, practice, and demonstrate skills. As youth practice, they refine their skills and gain confidence that they can use the skills in other settings. At Girls on the Run, we also focus on creating a mastery climate. Perhaps you haven't heard this specific term before, but the underlying concept is likely a familiar one. In a mastery climate, the emphasis is placed on personal improvement and effort, and mistakes are seen as learning opportunities. A performance climate, the opposite of a mastery climate, focuses on competition and favorable comparison to others. When adults create this mastery climate, young people experience less anxiety, are more likely to learn skills, and are more motivated to work towards their goals. In your own programs, you can focus on effort and improvement instead of competition. Create a safe space for everyone to succeed, regardless of their ability level. Help youth create and pursue their own individual goals in relation to both physical skills and social and emotional skills. Then give specific feedback so they can see their progress. So this is a picture of one of our girls filling out her goal sheet. At the beginning of each workout, girls create their own lap goals and then record how they did at the end of the lesson. This enables them to focus on their own effort and improvement instead of comparing themselves to others. Including a culminating event is also one of our key strategies. As I mentioned, the program ends with 2 culminating events, which girls put effort towards throughout the season. First, the girls create and execute a local community service project. Additionally, the girls and their running buddies complete a celebratory 5K event with other teams in the community at the end of the season. Both events provide an opportunity for girls to utilize the physical, social, and emotional skills they have enhanced and developed during the program. Culminating activities do not have to be large undertakings, just an opportunity for youth to apply effort over time towards a goal. Those are some of the key strategies that have worked for us in the physical activity space with girls. Our mission is to inspire girls to be joyful, healthy, and confident using a fun, experience-based curriculum which creatively integrates running. We're thrilled to have empowered over 1.6 million girls through our evidence-based programs since our inception and aim to reach 2 million by 2021. We appreciate the opportunity to share our strategies for success with you today.
Thank you, Theresa. We appreciate all the great work Girls on the Run is doing to promote physical activity, confidence, and connections for adolescent girls. And we now turn to Sarah Pickens, Associate Vice President of Programs at the U.S. Soccer Foundation, to learn more about their work to promote positive outcomes for youth.
Yes, thank you so much. I very much appreciate being a part of OAH's Think Act Grow webinar here today. And as noted by Think Act Grow, we all have a part to play in ensuring the healthy development of our 42 million adolescents. And to jump into the U.S. Soccer Foundation and how we do our part, I'll first introduce who we are and what we do. So broadly speaking, the U.S. Soccer Foundation believes that every child deserves the opportunity to play soccer while also learning life skills from trained coach mentors. We look to improve communities through soccer with a specific focus on underserved communities. And we look to increase access to evidence-based soccer programming that delivers strong health and youth development outcomes and access to safe play spaces, which oftentimes means building them ourselves. So currently we're in over 400 communities nationwide, working with over 3,000 coach mentors to provide programming to more than 70,000 children. We've also built more than 100 of these play spaces, which we call mini pitches. If you're familiar with the concept of a futsal court, that's kind of what these are. So we believe we have a tremendous tool in the game of soccer itself, the world's game, if you will, a game for all. And our approach is holistic. We've built a model alongside the powerful tool of soccer, and a model that positively impacts the physical, mental, and emotional well-being of the youth in our programs. In fact, we've invested in 2 evaluations that reinforce our strong health and youth development outcomes. So we considered some of the challenges that our youth and adolescents face and what the U.S. Soccer Foundation can do to help combat some of these challenges. With challenges such as increased sedentary behavior, offering a channel for fun, engaging physical activity. Challenges such as juvenile delinquency, which occurs most frequently immediately following the close of school in your 3 to 6 p.m. time frame. Offering a safe, inclusive place for group mentoring to occur. And with challenges such as a lack of places to play, where in underserved communities, kids are more than 4 times as likely to lack recreational facilities. Looking to improve the spaces for play to happen. Our solution is Soccer for Success. And as you can see that by the program model here, Soccer for Success is built off of 5 core components: physical activity, nutrition, mentorship, family and community engagement, and safe spaces. And with the right mix of these 5 core components, which differs based off of the strengths and needs of any given community, we can help combat some of the issues our youth and adolescents face. And just to pause briefly and think about how this correlates to or complements OAH's Think, Act, Grow campaign, we believe that we support positive connections with supportive people, particularly through the strong mentorship received through our coach mentors. We believe we support safe and secure places to live, learn, and play, certainly through the many pitches we build, and also through our intentional curriculum that offers engaging physical activity and health and wellness education. We believe we support access to high-quality, teen-friendly health care, 1, by promoting health and wellness through the curriculum, and 2, also by advocating for strong engagement to community resources. We believe we support opportunities for teens to engage as learners, leaders, team members, and workers by participating as a member on a team, practicing leadership in different parts of practices and games, and developing a deeper understanding of teamwork itself. And finally, we believe we support coordinated adolescent and family-centered services, again through our advocacy for stronger engagement to community resources. As a quick example, we hold end-of-season jamborees where the youth teams are playing against each other and all family members are invited. You know, there's a bunch of Zumba workouts, walking, yoga classes happening, and then and also health services, and then family members can sign up for these services and continue on with them even after the jamboree's over. And it's really a time to celebrate wellness all around. And as we've had continued long-standing presences in some of these communities, we see continued benefits of Soccer for Success, including revitalization of different parts of the neighborhood or community, strengthened neighborhood cohesion, increase in youth employment, an increase in community investment from different public and private sectors. So for a more detailed look at our impact and outcomes, overall we strive for an even 50-50 boy-girl split, but currently have 61% male and 39% female participants, 49% of which are Latinx and 34% of which are African American. We have about 50% of our participants in 3rd through 5th grade, with 35% in kindergarten through 2nd, and 18% in 6th through 8th. And 90% participate in free and reduced price lunch programs, which is an indicator of income level and which is helpful for us to understand and maintain our focus of working in underserved communities. And as for outcomes, 88% of participants work better on a team, 86% stay away from antisocial behaviors, 83% improve their health outcomes, and 81% feel better about their futures. So I've mentioned our intentional curriculum and training. Our curriculum is offered through an online platform, which gives practice sessions and that includes recommended activities and talking points for the coach mentors. The curriculum is offered in an age-appropriate format. Different curricula is offered for kindergarten through 2nd grade, 3rd through 5th grade, and 6th through 8th grade. Our training resources are also offered online, but accompanied by an effective train-the-trainer model to ensure impactful mentorship is occurring in an in-person format. We hold an annual symposium for the executive director and program director level focused on program management. And to note, we have our upcoming Urban Soccer Symposium this March 15th through 17th in Washington, D.C. And in the summer, we also hold a 4-day training event for our trainers who then go on to train coach mentors locally in their community. Our trainings cover soccer, yes, and also health and wellness, mentorship, youth development, data collection, and more. To highlight our training on mentorship, just briefly, we have developed what we call our Coach Mentor Blueprint. This combines the concept of a coach and the concept of a mentor into one, amplifying the dual roles that our coach mentors play. It also gives the coach mentors a play-by-play across the season of things that they need to focus on when creating that connection with their youth and adolescents. All of the Coach Mentor Blueprint is built off of the foundation. The foundation, in its essence, is team culture. And the foundation provides coach mentors clear action steps on how to create a positive and inclusive team culture. All of this and more is wrapped into our trainings and train-the-trainer model. So we've had, more than 3,000 coach mentors go through this training. Currently working with 70,000 kids across the country. We have a big scaling goal to work with 1 million youth annually by 2026, and to go from the 100 play spaces that we have built to more than 1,000 play spaces built across the country. We are engaged in a number of different scaling strategies that involve local, state, and national approaches. And we are 11 days into 2019 and are well on our way to reaching 100,000 participants this year and installing a total of 220 play spaces. We've accomplished a lot, but have a lot more to do, and look forward to continuing to work with groups like the Office of Adolescent Health and Girls on the Run to positively impact our nation's youth. And I've included my contact information here. If you have questions outside of this webinar, don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sarah, for sharing with us about how the U.S. Soccer Foundation is promoting physical activity and youth development while also creating safe places for youth to learn and play. We'd now like to take a few minutes to ask both of you some additional questions. In your presentations, you each spoke about the important role that coaches play in helping youth achieve positive outcomes. What recommendations do you have for other programs about how to successfully train and support adults that are working with youth?
So this is Theresa with Girls on the Run, and I briefly touched on this during my presentation, but what we learned from the Dr. Weiss study was that our national coach training program really is key to our program's impact. What we know is that by providing coaches with a high-quality, structured training, it increases their confidence and their comfort as they then approach the lessons feeling really prepared. This not only positively impacts the girls during the season, but it really leads to increased coach retention beyond the season. So one recommendation we have is to look for ways to align your trainings with adult learning principles to meet volunteers where they are. This will improve training quality and impact. Today's learners really need more interactive, engaging, and short trainings, which can be easily accessed using a variety of modalities, online and in person if possible. And once a coach is trained and begins to deliver the program, we strongly encourage our councils to support our coaches by conducting site support visits. So site support visits, they serve as an opportunity to troubleshoot any kind of coaching challenge, to provide support and advice around specific challenges, and to connect with coaches. Coaches who feel supported in their role are also more likely to return season after season. And then we encourage you to look for easy and engaging opportunities to provide ongoing training and support. While we don't think it's necessary for a coach to repeat the national coach training season after season or year after year, we do have them complete a returning coach online module after 1 year of coaching. And this module really helps the coaches brainstorm solutions to the most common coaching challenges and offers behavior management tips and tricks that coaches can use at their next practice. And after 2 years of coaching, we hold a returning coach kickoff, which is an in-person training and really a celebration designed to help coaches feel connected, excited, and ready to coach again. This training provides coaches with ample opportunity to share best ideas, build relationships with fellow coaches, and reflect on their coaching skills and strengths. And the returning coach kickoff is customizable in nature so that coaches really have the opportunity to engage with different coaching topics each time they attend.
Yes, and this is Sarah with the U.S. Soccer Foundation. I'd very much echo a lot of what Theresa was saying. I think it's very important to create an intentional training design. And so what do I mean by that? Really thinking about the outcomes that you want to have and the impact that you want to have, and backwards designing towards your training. And also considering that a lot of your coaches, we call them coach mentors, will be coming from a vast variety of different backgrounds. And so thinking about a training design that will be accessible to all of them and interesting and engaging and inclusive to all of them. We do something in our trainings that we call teachbacks. This allows the adults, our coach mentors, to practice different parts of the practice sessions within the training before they even get on the field or pitch with their kids. And this just kind of is another step towards making them feel comfortable before their season with their kids even starts. And then, as Theresa was mentioning, just thinking about after the training occurs, what type of support you're going to provide your coaching staff. So if it's site visits, if it's check-ins, if it's mid-season trainings as well, just being really intentional about that support across the season as well.
We know that positive adult relationships are critical for adolescents, but we also know the importance of their peer relationships. Can you tell us more about how your programs intentionally foster positive peer interactions?
Yeah, this is Sarah with the U.S. Soccer Foundation. Again, I think we really have a powerful tool in the game of soccer itself. When we design our curriculum with a number of experts as well as the community partners that we've worked with over the years, There's so many places within the activities themselves where the participants must interact and must navigate being on a team with each other. And so certainly we try and set up creating that positive culture within the training itself, and then also kind of highlight it throughout the curriculum of moments within different activities or across the season where you as the coach mentor can support that positive connection building and relationship building between the players as well.
And this is Theresa with Girls on the Run. We know at this age making friends and feeling a sense of belonging are very important, and part of what makes Girls on the Run unique and impactful is that with the small team sizes, the girls get to form meaningful relationships with their coaches, and as the program unfolds, they also build new friendships with teammates they may not have known outside the program. So during our national coach training, we too prepare the coaches with strategies on how to authentically foster these positive peer relationships. So some of those strategies include being observant and aware of the girls' interaction with one another, how to pair the girls strategically to really encourage them to build relationships with girls that they may not already know, creating opportunities for girls to connect during practice, and then talking with the coaching team after practice to share observations and ideas for fostering girls' relationships. And our structured lessons provide a lot of opportunities for the girls to engage in activities and discussions in small groups. They have to work together to solve problems, and it really encourages them to recognize and motivate each other. So, for example, during our very first lesson of the season, the girls worked together to develop basic expectations for the team to help them feel connected throughout the season. And this really provides girls with the opportunity to contribute their own ideas of what will make their season successful. And later on in that same lesson, the girls participate in a running game called Just Like Me, where they learn about their similarities and differences and discover not only what makes them special and unique, but also where they really have connections with each other. And this lesson, along with all of the lessons throughout the season, ends with an energy award. And an energy award celebrates girls in the group who have exhibited a positive girl on the run attitude, encouraging their teammates or maybe showing some gratitude, or a girl that really persevered throughout practice. And the girls on the team select which teammate they want to give an energy award to, and together they perform a cheer or a dance or another fun activity to recognize that teammate. And these positive peer-to-peer connections really beautifully come to life at our end of season 5K. When the girls cross that finish line, they typically do not immediately leave the event with their families. Instead, they'll often run back onto the course and find girls from their team to cheer them on or to run alongside them and motivate them to cross that finish line.
In order to give us a better understanding of how programs like yours impact the lives of youth, can you share a brief story or anecdote about a young person with whom your program has worked?
Sure. So again, this is Theresa, and I'll share a story about a girl named Spirit from Texas who sent us a picture and a letter after her first Girls on the Run season in the third grade. And she wrote to us, "Girls on the Run has changed my life. I've been running for 3 months. I'm learning that rumors are bad. All of the coaches are very nice and helpful, and I feel better about myself. I can feel my body getting stronger. I have always felt weak. I've always been the smallest in my class, and I'm often sick. But since joining Girls on the Run, I don't feel small anymore. I'm a strong girl, and my size doesn't matter. And our 5K came in last place, but I didn't feel bad. I felt good because I finished. I would like to thank Girls on the Run and Coach Shire for believing in me and helping me believe in myself." And then at the end of fifth grade, we received another picture and a letter from Spirit 2 years later after she completed her final season of our elementary school program, Girls on the Run. And she wrote, "Girls on the Run has been an inspiration. When I first started, I thought it was all about running, but it's about making the right decisions in life. In third grade, I didn't have many friends until I started Girls on the Run. Now I have great friends. I felt I was a weak person and always doubted myself. Now every day, I try to have a confident attitude and a smile on my face. In my first 5K, I came in last place. At my last Girls on the Run 5K, I tied with an amazing person, Serena. We both made first place. We did not want to race each other, so we decided to tie." Coach Shire taught me about making wise decisions and how to love not only my family, but others I meet. I guess that was a lesson in bravery since everyone used to scare me. She taught me how to love myself and be proud of myself. So we love this story. In spirit, we follow up with her, and she now has aspirations to become an Olympic swimmer, and she remains to this day very close to Coach Shire.
And this is Sarah, and absolutely we have a variety of different stories, but I think one is fun in that this participant then came back and became a coach mentor. His name's Giovanni, and he's out of East Los Angeles. And he joined in 7th grade, and his coach's name was Daniel. And Giovanni was actually a really good soccer player, and ended up, playing into his adulthood, got an injury, and then wanted to stay connected to the game. And there was the application for coach mentors in East LA, and he realized that he learned so much from Soccer for Success and his coach mentor, Daniel, that he wanted to go back and do the same thing with participants that Daniel had done to him as far as being a great mentor in his life. And so Giovanni noted that Soccer for Success taught him how to not only be physically active through the game of soccer, but taught him how to have better nutrition habits, sleeping habits, etc. And he was very successful at incorporating those habits into his life. And then also, around what we were just talking about with team building and relationships within the team, learning how to kind of come out of his shell and be a teammate and a friend. And so Giovanni said of Daniel, his previous coach mentor, he was so inspiring to me. I got everything he taught me, and I taught it back to the kids, giving them guidance on how they can improve every day, not just in soccer, but in their lives. So it's really fun to think about Giovanni and his path of being a participant and now being a coach mentor in Soccer for Success.
On behalf of the Office of Adolescent Health, I want to thank you for joining us to learn about the Office of Adolescent Health and TAG, and to hear about your exciting work promoting adolescent health and wellness. A special thanks to Theresa Miller and Sarah Pickens for their organization's excellent work on behalf of youth. The TAG effort continues, and we invite you to get involved and spread the word about TAG within your professional networks. Here are a few things you can do. Visit the TAG pages on the OAH website. Download the updated TAG playbook from the OAH website. Join TAG and get email updates about new HHS data and TAG materials. Watch a TAG Talk video with your colleagues or with groups of family members or teens and use the discussion guides. Encourage your organization to use TAG action steps and resources. Blog about TAG. Use TAG social media tools to reach some of America's 42 million teens and the adults who care about them at hashtag TAG42mil. Ask questions, share TAG materials, and send us your ideas, and stay in touch. Here are some ways to connect with us. You can visit our website, follow us on Twitter at TeenHealthGov, read our e-updates, check out our YouTube channel. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to share TAG and great examples of TAG in action